Thank you, Michael. Welcome, everybody. Getting back into last week's game with Baylor, I was just, of course, overall pleased with the overall play of the team. I just thought in all areas we were very solid, very good. And, I look at it, you have, I think, 3 penalties on the day, and 2 of them were in the kicking game. That's again, pretty special for us. Very disciplined in how we played offensively. I was excited to see us just the overall balance, run, play action, passing, third down pickups, execution was good, made some big plays. Guys that Eric Mensick up front was one of our players of the game, along with DeMarco Murray, who had around 190 all-purpose yards again. And then a bunch of other guys played good. James Hanna, Stephen Good up front. Of course, Ryan Broyles, again, is always special. Kenny Stills had another good day. And then defensively, to hold them, they have a defensive score, and to keep them down like we did, whatever, I think it was 53-10 going into the fourth quarter. You're doing a lot right against a team that was at the top of the league in every offensive category. They're first, second, or third, I think, something like that in about every category. So they had been moving the ball all year, and I thought we really did an excellent job on third downs, getting pressure, had some sacks. As I said, a defensive score with coverage was really good. Some guys that played well. Jeremy Beal, again, was one of our players of the game. DeMontre Hurst. And then the usual bunch of guys after that. Everybody, for the most part, was really solid. Special teams were good again. Jimmy Stevens and Tress Way were a couple of our players of the game, along with Marcus Trice, had some huge plays in the kick coverage and getting the safety on the kickoff. That kind of thing was really good, but those guys hit the ball well. So it gets us into this week with Oklahoma State, an exciting week for everybody. It's great to be in this position, really, when you're going into the last week of the year. Still pursuing the Big 12 championship. It's exciting. It's where you want to be. It's what you want. And we've been here a lot. As I said, or was told to me after our last week's game, that this is 9 years out of 11 that we've been in this position in the last week of the season with the chance to still pursue the Big 12 championship. And so our players are excited about it. We had an excellent day of practice yesterday, and looking forward to the challenge and competition of it. Coach Gundy over at Oklahoma State and his staff and team have done an excellent job, and they've had a really good year, and so it's a big challenge, but an exciting one, and I know our players are excited about it.
How much what you see in their offense is what you saw when you played Leach?
Well, there's even this year when we played Tech, Tech still has a lot of the same offense that they had with Mike. There's a lot of it, and there's a good bit of it here when you look at the passing game. In particulars, there's a lot of it that's still very similar. I think they're more persistent here and creative in running the football more, and they've got an excellent back, Kendall Hunter, and a bunch of other guys that run the ball well. So that's probably the biggest difference is their willingness and persistence to run the football. And but a lot of the other stuff is there's some strong similarities.
About your offensive efficiency, you had 54 points in the third quarter, against Baylor, and it looked like a clean game as well. Not many penalties or bad plays going on.
Yeah, we're very consistent. Really, the last couple of weeks, we've played really well, and the execution's been there. The blocking, the protection, and Landry's been very sharp. Receivers are making big plays, and so it's been positive.
You've had several games where you have virtually no penalties, and that's not really been a big problem all year. Why do you think that is? Because in years past you've had stretches where penalties were a problem. Why is this team?
In particular, a year ago, we were horrible. Penalties were stopped. I can't tell you how many drives and put us in the hole, and really were especially when you're shorthanded injury-wise and then young or inexperienced, and then you add, you're adding 15 yards extra, or holding minus 10 or procedure minus 5. You start adding all the extra yardage, you're not able to overcome it, and I think a lot of it this year has been experience, and the players taking pride and paying attention to it, to making sure that they're playing in a disciplined way, technique-wise, And so I think they've been more conscientious about it, and I think, too, their experience, they're more experienced than we were a year ago has helped also.
Bob, DeMarco has 58 catches, which is a lot for a running back. He's had games with 8 or 10. Talk about how he's evolved and what kind of weapon that has for offense to have a running back that have that many catches.
Yeah, DeMarco's biggest attribute is just his ability. He's so skillful at so many things. He's great. He's excellent running routes. He's got great hands. He's got speed out there when he does get a corner on somebody. He can run the football. He's a great pass protector when he's picking up blitzes because he's so strong. So, he's just versatile. He can do everything. And in an offense like ours, we take advantage of that. We like being able to do multiple things with him, so he's perfect for it.
You put in the three-back set on Saturday and had success with it. Oklahoma State has run that. What makes that tough from a defensive standpoint?
Well, it's just all the different keys. You got 3 guys going different directions or the same direction and gaining leverage on you, or picking up the proper keys. All of that. So it's just, you just have to settle in and figure out how you're gonna handle the different gaps that are created. With 3 different guys, you could create gaps a lot of different ways. Just the backs.
When you call the formation, it's just backs?
Backs.
Wow.
Bob, you run the bubble screen a ton, and so do they. And mostly you run it to the same guy, Broyles, and they run it to Blackman, and everybody in the place knows it's coming, and nobody can seem to stop it most of the time. But my question is, why does it work so well so frequently?
Well, what I was going to say, you can stop it, but now you're going to be shorthanded on the run. So you're kind of picking your poison. You want to let them run it, or you want to take your chances on run, and handling the screen. So there's a little give and take, and that's, in all these cases, or most cases, sometimes the screen is just called and you're going with it. But a lot of cases, it's the run game, and you only have. It's why there's an odd number of people. So you're going to be a little better on the run, a little shorthanded out there, or stronger out there, and a little shorthanded on the run. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game everybody's playing.
We'll talk about that cat and mouse game with the team that has one of the best runners in the country and some receivers. That's the big challenge this week, right?
Sure, and that's a challenge even when people play us. They got a great receiver, a couple. They got a lot of receivers, but of course Blackman's a special guy, but good quarterback, excellent running game, and they use them all. And again, I'm sure when people face us, it's similar. Our quarterbacks played great. Ryan Broyles isn't easy to cover. DeMarco's been sensational. So there's a lot of that, that kind of give and take on who you're trying to be good against.
Yeah, you'd rather take away from.
Pardon me?
What would you want to take away from the offense if you could choose?
Run game first.
They've got such a high-powered offense, and you guys, everybody's anticipating a shootout. Is it an opportunity? I guess every game's an opportunity, but this seems like a real opportunity for the defense.
Absolutely, and we have played well when you look what we've been doing, and so definitely, we don't get caught up in that shootout stuff. Hopefully, that's been, I remember hearing all that going into the national championship game a couple years ago, and here it's 14-14 in the fourth quarter. So who knows how it'll go. In the end, I do feel good about the way we've played defense here especially the last couple of weeks against teams that have been spread out, teams that have been very and highly productive, and we've played with more discipline and have tackled better and just been structurally sound and good at what we've done, and it'll need to happen Saturday.
That 2008 game at their place kind of shaped up a little bit like that, where it was like the first team that made a defensive stop that actually won.
Yeah, it would have ended 65-45, right? I thought it was 65-45. You're probably right. I'm bad at keeping up with scores, but
How's McFarland playing tackle?
he's doing well. He's really really doing a nice job and really starting to come on. He's played really well the last couple of games, and that's exciting, because he works hard at it and he's coming on.
Casey Walker last week, how did he do?
Casey did well. He held up fine, practiced all week, hasn't missed anything, so that's a positive. Other guys up there, Ron L., again, really played well and seems to really be getting the feel for everything, and which is a big plus too.
I think Whedon's only been sacked 10 times. 2 years ago, when you guys protected Bradford so well, I think he was sacked 11 times through 11 games. So, I mean, they're doing a great job protecting him. What are they doing to protect him, and what can you do to make sure you get to him?
Not to take anything at all away from their offensive line, because they've done a really good job, but I think they're really smart at getting the ball out too, at timing of routes and you know, not holding the ball. He gets it out quick, and they're very aware of how long they're holding the football. And you look at a good number of, you know, they run screens more than any team you'll ever see. They're, you know, so a lot of these passes are quicker and designed to get the ball out in a faster way. So I think that's part of it as well. But their line also has been very, you know, good and disciplined and protective.